I think so. She was fine.
All right. Thank you for your selections here.
Sorry, I'm momming right now.
Oh, it's not like you're on live stream or anything like that. You're momming. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to Shabbat evening, the last day of January, which means that we are almost in the home stretch. Soon it will be Tu B'Shvat, and then before you know it, it'll be the high holidays. Like how I just skipped completely over Passover. I have on my apple tie. So pass right over it. I have my apple. I'm ready for Rosh Hashanah. Should we just get it over with? No. It's a pleasure to be with you this Shabbat, and with Susie leading our music. We'll begin on page 10. Page 10, we give thanks for being together. Hinei Matov. We will continue on page 2 as we welcome Shabbat with the lighting and blessing of the Shabbat candles and the blessing over the sweetness of the fruit of the vine. And for these blessings, I'm pleased to invite Carrington, Elliot, and Britt Beringer, the 3 Beringer kids, as this is the week before Carrington celebrates becoming bat mitzvah, and what will be a rash of B'nai and Benot Mitzvah this spring, followed by a milder rash in the fall. Page 2. Carrington, you're the lead, so you get to stand in the middle, surrounded by your brother and sister. Watch your step there, Britt. Very good. Now, if you take the middle candle and use that to light that one. Good. And now you light that. Now you just push the 2 candlesticks.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Now, Carrington, if you'll please pick up the Kiddush cup. We will continue on page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodesho b'ahava uv'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit Ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim ki vanu vacharta viotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha b'yahava uv'ratzon hinchalatanu baruch ata Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. Now you can drink some of that if you'd like. It's grape juice. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The Shabbat Kiddush is like the Alice's restaurant of prayers. All of my cultural references are right up to date. You can Google Alice's restaurant. It's a very long song. And as soon as you think it's over, it's not. It's like my nephew's bar mitzvah. We will continue now on pages 20 and 21. Pages 20 and 21, so we symbolically welcome the Shabbat bride with Lecha Dodi. Please rise for verse 9. Page 26, Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah. Bi'alma divarach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agalaha uvizman kahari v'imeru. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam le'almei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal Shemei dekudesha le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alema ve'imeru. Amen. Page 28 is our call to prayer. Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed. Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever. Let's continue together at the middle of page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 34, Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. We will continue with the next paragraph of Shema on page 36. V'yahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha vishinantam levanecha vidibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvelechtecha vaderech uveshochbecha uvekumecha ukshartam le'ohot al yadecha behayu letotafot bein einecha uchitavtaham al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema'an tizkeruhu va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Let's read responsively on page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Egypt did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Page 43. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Page 44. Page 46, please rise for tefillah.
Adonai sifatakitach ufia kitahilatecha. Adonai
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKohol V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem Leman Shemo B'Ahava Melech Ozer Moshiach Umagen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai Mechaye Hakol Atah Rav Lehoshia Mashiv HaRuach Umorid HaGashem Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Berofech Holim Umatir Asurim Umekayehem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Baal Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Memit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'neman Atala Chayot HaKol Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayeh HaKol Atah Kadosh V'Shimecha Kadosh Ukadoshim Bechol Yom Yahalelucha Selah Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. Let's continue responsively on page 55. Disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shock us, Adonai. Deny to us the false Shabbat, which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears.
Make us know that the
Border of the sanctuary is not the border of living,
and the walls of your temples are not shelters
from the winds of truth, justice, and reality.
reality.
Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 57. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, sha'otecha levadcha be'yirah na'avod. We'll pause now for a few moments of quiet reflection, either the words on page 63, whatever prayers our hearts may prompt, followed by Yehiyu L'Ratzon at the middle of page 62. We continue on page 253. We think of all who are in need of healing of body and spirit. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. We think especially of the following people: Alan Brockman, Yvonne Burkhart, Dr. Sarah Chabin, Mike Carbone, Esther Hulda Batsara, Valerie Frank, Alex Goldstein, Clara Gilliams, Jillian Hartman, Elizabeth Hyder, Kate Lane, Richard Lehrer, Jody Lokshin, Judine Luntz, Alan Rothman, Rob Schweitzer, Pat Sherman, Mark Sirac, Sharon Smith, Kristen Spetich, Kelly Swab, Barbara Turkeltaub, David Waltz, Malka Wayne, Florence Weaver, and Bruce White. If you have other people about whom you're thinking and you would like to share their names aloud, I invite you to do so now. Page 259, please rise. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go alo. Barech, Barech, et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Geulateinu. Hagein aleha bevrat chasdecha, ufaros aleha sukat shalomecha. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go alo. Kol od balevav nima, nefesh Yehudi homiya, ufatei Mizrach kadima, ayin Tzion Sophia. Please be seated. Shabbat Shalom. I am a product of the Akron Public School System in the 1970s and 1980s. I can get by. I can drive a car because I saw the video about it. I know how to work a slide projector. There are a few things that I learned. And one of the things was that all history is equal. Every period or subject in history gets the same amount of time allotted in the curriculum. I had a year of Ohio history because it's very important that I know about Knutenhagen and Coshocton, that I can remember. I've never been to either one and I couldn't find one on a map, but I know how to pronounce them. I had a whole year of American history. We never got past the Civil War, but I understand that some things have happened since. I had a whole year of European history, and I had a whole year of world history, because history, after all, we should just be able to pick and choose the things of history that we like, because, after all, history is written by the victors, the winners. Most of what I learned about history did begin in the Akron Public School System in the late 1980s, and it spurred an interest that has continued to this day, and I still have a voracious appetite for trying to understand the present by looking through the prism of what has been, recognizing that I wasn't there. In many cases, the people whose words I'm reading were not there, but we try to get a long view. So when I give you some dates here, they're not accurate. You can hold me and Firestone High School responsible for that. But if we think of the period bounded roughly by the 6th and the 15th centuries of the Common Era, these 1,000 or so years in Western Europe are sometimes called, like they are on page 39 in our prayer book, the Dark Ages. They're not dark because the lights weren't on, because Thomas Edison, an Ohioan, had not yet figured out how to make the incandescent light bulb. They're called the Dark Ages because there was a period of such dramatic decline in intellectual product and financial advancement and scientific advancement compared to what had become before and what was going to come after. This period between the fall of the Western Roman Empire and the rise of the Renaissance and the Age of Discovery we call the Dark Ages. None of that period was ever too good for the Jews. The exile, that is the experience of rabbinic Judaism, all happened during those Dark Ages. and the experiences that gave rise to what we now understand as Ashkenazi Judaism and Sephardic Judaism, those were birthed during the Dark Ages. None of this period was ever too good for the Jews of Europe. There was widespread anti-Judaism, and there was widespread anti-Semitism. There were blood libels, there were conspiracy theories, there was exile, there was displacement, there was forced assimilation, forced conversion, forced acculturation, and so forth. But it was also a period of significant intellectual productivity for rabbis, even in Western Europe, and certainly for rabbis living in the Islamic world and the Arab world, particularly in Spain. Much of the rabbinic commentary on which we rely even today comes out of these dark ages. So there were things happening when the lights were off, but society as a whole was not progressing. It was regressing. But if you think of three of the greats, Rashi in France, Maimonides in Spain and in Egypt, and Ibn Ezra in Spain, all of these rabbis produced volumes and commentaries that exist to this day and give us insights into their world living in exile. And they did pretty well. Rashi was a vintner, Maimonides was a doctor, and not just any doctor, the doctor to the Sultan in Cairo. That's good work if you can get it. And he was a rabbi on the side, all during these dark ages. But how do we as Jews understand darkness? Is darkness just willful ignorance that can be accepted or embraced? They knew things in the Roman Empire that just disappeared. Lest you think that is impossible, anyone in this room who is under the age of 53 has not been alive while a person has walked on the moon. What did we forget between 1972 and 2025? When we look at the dark ages of Europe, what did they forget about indoor plumbing that Julius Caesar knew? Is the darkness willful ignorance that we can just accept or embrace? Is darkness optional? We can look to Exodus chapter 10, verses 21 to 23 to teach us something of a Jewish view of darkness and what a dark age looks like. It comes to us in the form of the 9th of the 10 plagues. Vayomer Adonai al Moshe, and God said to Moses, Netei yadcha al hashamayim, vihi choshech al eretz Mitzrayim, vayames choshech. Hold out your arm toward the sky, so that there may be darkness upon the land of Egypt, a darkness that can be touched. It continues, Moses held out his arm toward the Shamayim, towards the heavens, and a thick darkness descended upon all the land of Egypt for 3 days. People could not see one another, and for 3 days no one could move about. Ulechol b'nei Yisrael haya or b'moshvotam. But all of the Israelites enjoyed light in the places where they dwelt. So what is this darkness? It is more than just the absence of light. It is more than natural darkness. In fact, it is more than even the ability to see with our eyes. Because one cannot see with their eyes, but still see and be able to sense what is going on around. This is not physical blindness. It is something different, something tangible that affects how people think and how they behave. This choshech, this 9th plague, is a paralyzing force of evil that infests the human spirit. And I think it is what the Dark Ages were all about. During the Dark Ages of Europe, other places in the world were thriving. and Jewish intellectual achievement persisted, as it did in the Arab world and the Islamic world, as it did in the Far East and Asia. But in Western Europe, during these dark ages, there was not light in the dwelling places. People could not move from where they are. Maybe they could move physically, but they could not advance. And it took somewhere between 500 and 1,000 years to recover what had been lost. That is willful ignorance. And Judaism teaches us that we are called to be a light unto the nations, an or lagoyim, a light to the nations, even when people don't want that light, because what you create in darkness will eventually be seen and brought to light. We're called to see each other. We're called to move about, to enjoy light in our dwellings by refusing to live in darkness, even when there are extraordinarily powerful forces trying to keep the world dark, trying to impede scientific and intellectual advancement, dumbing down society, as was the case in the Dark Ages. Now, what followed the Dark Ages, the Renaissance, and then became the Enlightenment. The Enlightenment produced the world in which we live today. The Enlightenment was the salvation of European Jewry, and strangely enough, also produced its destruction. It is not an accident that the world that was in darkness for so long and then saw the light with the Enlightenment is the same world that destroyed its Jewish community in the last century. Because science unbounded by morality is not progress. Science unbounded by morality built gas chambers and crematoria. And moralism unfettered by reason, is what burned so-called heretics at the stake. So what is a Jewish response to this darkness? The response to the dark ages in which we find ourselves today? To keep knowledge alive and to keep making progress and ensure that what has been advanced does not retreat. And that even when one wants to forget what has been learned, like I tried for so long to forget what I had learned in the Akron public school system, and then it came back to me. Keep those memories alive. Keep knowledge alive by enshrining in practice the memory of what has been and making progress by continuing to advance reason and morality, even when it is unpopular. And I'll give you an example of how Jews have been doing this for thousands of years. I was tempted at the beginning of this service to rush right past a holiday. Which one? I know it was an hour ago. Passover. To pass right over it. Passover continues to be the most widely observed Jewish holiday. And it's not just because the food is so bad, so good. We will celebrate Passover in 10 weeks, and we will recall the plagues, including this 9th plague. And we will decrease our joy at the Seder when we recall the suffering of those who wish us harm. We drop out a bit of the sweetness of the wine or the grape juice at each of the plagues because we don't want other people to live in darkness either. To be Jewish is to keep on remembering and keep on celebrating and refusing to be afraid of the dark and to refuse to live in the dark. We're called not only at Hanukkah time but throughout the year to make light. And every ritual act that reminds us of our mission to be a light unto the nations acts like the Shabbat candles, as a light glowing against the darkness that brings human suffering. Every drop of wine that we spill from our joy reminds us of the humanity that we all share, and it calls upon us to step into the light and away from the darkness of ignorance and hatred. For as bad as darkness, the 9th plague is, what came next was worse. The darkness did not break Pharaoh's heart. It was the 10th plague that did it. Had Pharaoh recognized the darkness, the 10th plague would not have been necessary. But by bringing light, we seek to avoid the suffering of the innocent. We're called at Passover to recount the exodus from Egypt and everything that led up to it by making light and by choosing to live and to bring life and light to the rest of the world. If others could do it before us without the modern conveniences that we enjoy, we can, together, keep light and joy in our places of dwelling, even when the forces of darkness threaten to close in all around us. Make light and choose to live. Shabbat Shalom. Now I invite the president of our congregation, Barb Spira, to offer Shabbat greetings.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Susie, for leading our music this Shabbat. Please consult your service handout and our website for all of our upcoming programs. Our monthly bulletin will arrive tomorrow evening and includes a full listing of Shabbat services, Benot mitzvahs, and other programs. If you do not get the bulletin or weekly tidbits, you can subscribe on our website. Shabbat Shalom.
See that? It's the advancement of technology. Rashi didn't know from websites. And Maimonides didn't have a website, at least as far as I know. Maybe they had that technology before and it got lost. We continue now on page 282. Page 282. The middle of the page is Aleinu L'Shabeach. Britt, would you like to come help open the ark? You want to come on down? Come on down. Please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'teit gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishbechot ha'adama, shelo samechelkenu kahem, v'goraleinu kechol hamonam. V'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamelachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu, Yihye Adonai echad, Ushemo echad. Doesn't he look just like I do? Are we practically indistinguishable one from the other? Excellent. You want to stay up here with me? You want to go back to your sisters? Page 294. As we prepare to recite the words of Mourner's Kaddish, we recall those who died at this season in years past. We remember Erwin Block, William Borak, George Koganow, Samuel J. Dreyer, Morris W. Fantle, Lena Isaac Fenivez, Keith Friedman, Rose Glass, Mary Glazer, Michael Goldstein, Samuel Gordon, Samuel J. Hartman, Robert Horowitz, Frida Viola Johnson, Robert Kane, Laureen Libster, Dr. Irving Lieberman, Nellie Reiben-Mitzman, Jack Persky, Verna E. Rogers, Louis Rogovin, Lee Savet, Grace W. Shorey, Ben Sherwin, Maria Sigelbaum, Samuel Sigelbaum, Pauline Smuckler, Alan Smuckler, Isidore Stein, Samuel J. Stone, Dorothy J. Summit, Lillian L. Wachtel, Harold Wiley, and Herbert Wernow. And we remember two who have died in more recent weeks, Bob Barnett and Daryl Van Nest. If you have additional names that you would like to share or corrected pronunciations of names that I read, I invite you to share those now. Thank you. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divarach irutei v'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam le'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitdaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'alal shmei dekudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei Rabba min Shemaya. L'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mrumav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Oseh shalom b'mrumav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael.
Please be seated. We began our worship service by spreading light and sweetness with the Shabbat candles and the fruit of the vine, and we prepare to conclude our time together by giving thanks to God for providing sustenance from the earth. Human beings need certain things. As Maslow taught us, there are a hierarchy of needs, and among these needs are shelter and food and other things, and we need things for our spirits as well. And I think that one of the geniuses of the rituals of Judaism is that we take the ordinary, the chol, sometimes we call it the profane, but it's not really profane, it's just regular, and we elevate it into something extraordinary, into something holy, by taking light, which can be used to enlighten or to destroy. We take alcohol, in this case it's grape juice, but has the ability to make joy or to make sorrow. The sweetness that can also be sour, and we make it into something sacred. And we take the raw stuff of the earth and make it into something nutritious and delicious. And we take animal things and make them into something human and something holy. So I would like to invite the Beringer family to come on down. All five of you. Yes, so you prepare to offer your firstborn on the sacrificial altar of the Jewish people. I know I make it such an upper on the Dark Ages. Hey, sign me right up. Come on up. I'm gonna have you come over here. Bobby, will you remove the cover from the challah for us? Thank you. It's not a trick challah or anything like that. Carrington, will you hold up the thing? Yeah. Or why don't you carry it? You gotta do the board. Don't worry, it's not gonna break. That's my job. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz Amen. Okay, I can set it back down. Y'all can each take a piece of challah if you would like. And at the conclusion of the service, please come help yourselves, but pay close attention to which ones Brit touches, because those ones are extra special blessed. And Susie's going to come back up. And now, no, I want you to be up here like the Von Trapps. Carrington just completed a successful run of Mary Poppins. Is that right? Would you like to do any of the numbers for us? Step in Time, There, you know, there's a Jewish version of that, Maria Poppins. It's called Schlepp in Time. Do you know about that one? You don't know about it because I just made it up. But it sounds real, doesn't it? Mary Poppins is the ultimate non-Jewish musical. We don't fly, we crawl. We don't, if we're pulling things out of a bag, it's not a lampstand or whatever. You know what we pull out? Tylenol, Advil, Asper cream. You're going to become a Jewish adult soon. You need to know all of these things. And if there was a Jewish nanny, she would come and she would bring stories, she'd bring books, she'd bring smoked fish in a napkin, not in a Ziploc, but just in a dry napkin. And that way you'd know that she was there. Susie, did you ever direct Mary Poppins? Not yet. Not yet. But Susie has selected for us Chim Chimney Chim Chim Churi in Hebrew, which is also known as Ma Yafeh Hayom. Page 330, how beautiful is this day?
I thought the brooms were going to come down.
We have that too? Not on Shabbos. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Gotta swing. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka, may God's light shine on you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, may God's presence forever be lifted up towards you, and may you be blessed with the gift of shalom, of light and peace. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Thank you very much. Shabbat shalom. Have a good, quiet week. I'll see you Sunday. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Elliot. Don't worry, nobody took it. You're safe.
Still wrapped. Wrapped up.
Shabbat shalom, Rabbi. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Julie.
We need to set a breakfast
Yes,
day.
yes, come here, I want to ask you something else. Shabbat Shalom.